Right, we're back again. I would like to discuss the difference between a standard CO2 cylinder head with a nipple that when you screw it in, it activates. When you remove it, it deactivates the pressure in the paintball marker, as opposed to the on-off tap brass head, which these are absolutely amazing. It allows you to leave the cylinder on the paintball marker without having to remove it. You just turn the CO2 off and then purge out the remaining shots that are in the gun, and then there's no pressure in the marker. These do not leak. When they are brass to brass shut off, they don't leak. These are the only way to have a self-defense paintball marker. You can leave the cylinder on. You don't have the worry of tearing that O-ring. When you remove it, you're removing it to fill it up with CO2. You put it back on. You test the paintball marker. You listen. There's no leaking. Then it is good to sit until you need to use it. And then you have HPA, which is high pressure air. This one is not very full at the moment. It's just over 1,000 psi. With HPA, this is a lot cleaner to put through a paintball marker. It's not cold, so your paintball marker won't get moisture in the gun. With CO2, the CO2 does come out very cold. It is a liquid form of a gas that, when exposed to atmospheric pressure, it becomes a gas. So it expands when it's released from compression, from its compressed state. So CO2 is a lot easier to get your hands on. It's cheaper because if you're going to go high pressure air, you're gonna need a dive cylinder to fill that up, and then a fill station for a compressed air cylinder. So you also have to be very careful with compressed air when you're filling them. The valves get very warm and they can malfunction and burst open. So with HPA, it takes a bit of understanding of how it all works. They are cleaner to put through, but it's going to be a lot more expensive. You do get with HPA, you can fire automatic without the nozzles freezing up, so you don't have issues. This is an HPA on-off valve. This is not for CO2, because this is still a bush that runs through and has O-rings on either sides. So this is designed for HPA to be able to turn them on and off. Don't let salesmen tell you that this can be used on CO2, because you'd be defeating the whole purpose of eliminating O-rings for keeping in the CO2. So I would definitely recommend only keeping this for HPA and not for CO2. So with HPA, 3,000 psi, with a 48 CI, you can go quite a bit high. You can go up to 4,000, 4,500 psi. You get a hell of a lot of shots out of them. It's a lot cleaner, but a cylinder like this is a hell of a lot more expensive than buying a CO2 cylinder. These valves, make sure that you use them for HPA only. I always advise customers keep the cylinders out of direct sunlight when they're not in use, as the sun can heat the gas and expand the gas. Although they do have burst discs, so they sit at 3K pressure. You can see that one as well as 3K. And these CO2 cylinders, instead of the cylinder compromising the integrity of the actual cylinder itself, there's a copper plate behind these burst discs, or the nuts, that will give way before the cylinder is compromised. So it's a safety precaution that if these get too hot, the burst disc will pierce and it will let the gas out from these little portholes. Do like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next videos.